Hello, everyone. Welcome to DarkMatch for TNA Lockdown. I'm Digi-Fox and the fox that rocks your socks.
I'm ChristopherSays, DarkMatch's Duke of the Deadpan.
And I am the Revolverman. And with tonight's Chic Tweet. You buy the piss on Chris Brown face t-shirt at indiemerch.com/the Iron Sheik or go fuck yourself forever. Hashtag Team Sheiky.
Man, the Sheik's into some weird shit.
Oh man, I so want to see Iron Sheik versus Chris Brown in an Indian death match.
Oh, yeah.
That weird cage match WWE did once where it had barbed wire on the top for some inexplicable reason.
Was this December to Dismember?
No, this was No Way Out, if I recall.
Oh no. I was thinking of for some reason, the barbed wire Christmas tree, but that itself was TNA, right?
Yeah, I was just supposed to say that was a TNA gimmick. Speaking of TNA gimmicks, Lockdown!
Hey, Lockdown!
With 50% less Lockdown.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lockdown halfway through the pay-per-view.
I mean,
yes.
We all wanted to see Robbie E and Robbie T in a cage match, and TNA just failed to provide that.
So yeah, we had, I think, 6 or 7 matches. Only 3 were in the cage, which, well, let's just say this is probably one of the few negative things about TNA we're going to talk about, because all in all, it was a good pay-per-view. This 4 pay-per-view format seems to be working for them.
Yeah, essentially. It does indeed make them, I guess, more special, and I guess it makes them pay more attention to their output. Because, I mean, if the worst thing you could say about any match in this was that it was just functional.
Mm-hmm.
It makes them, like, center their storylines a little more.
It also lets them grow a little bit, which might not always be the greatest case, but at least this one had a payoff. Anyway, time for the first match of the fight. The RVD is gone, so we got to rebuild the X Division match.
And using 2 decent competitors and 1 competitor who nobody wants to see.
Fucking White Threads himself, Christian York.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he looks like he's 10 years older. Gonna be fighting the fucking Mummy here soon.
I mean, as far as the match is concerned, I would say that this might be the worst match of the night, but not...
No, not by a long shot. Kurt Angle and not Garrett Bischoff, the other idiot who hangs around with him.
Yeah.
God, that's how bad he is. I confuse him with Garrett Bischoff. I wonder if I could piss on him anymore.
But again, when I was debating about this being the worst match of the night, that's not because any of it was bad. I'd say the worst spot was very much towards the beginning, where I think where Kenny King was trying to do, like, seemed like he was trying to moonsault off of, like, either York or Ion's back into someone against the railings, and he ended up sort of slipping and doing what I can only describe as a back elbow.
He did a fucking headfirst missile drop into the barrier. Luckily for him, that barrier was so cheap that it just kind of absorbed the shock.
Right.
Which is probably for the best, quite honestly. But yeah, the spot they kind of repeated a few times, which I still think was basically doing a double finisher on one person. Will do like a double finisher on 2 people, and then pin one of them. They'll kick out. Then they'll jump on the other guy and pin them, and he'll kick out. Because Kenny King did this one. No, not Kenny King. Zema Ion did this one where he, like, pushed Kenny King into Christian York's arm and gave York a neck breaker. So at the same time, York technically gave King a DDT, which I thought was a really cool spot. What was interesting is that York and Ion did them, but Kenny King didn't.
Well, I'd say like as far as like output, the worst guy in the match was Christian York, as expected. But then again, he also did this really good capture suplex spot to I forgot whether it was King or Ion. Like someone just threw
He
him
did
into
it
him.
to both. He did it to both. That was one of those double moves that I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah, York was fine. I'm not a fan of York, but he was completely fine in this match. Maybe because Zima Ion and Kenny King carried him. Maybe because he's really trying. Or maybe that everybody in the X Division now has a bit more effort put in now that fucking RDD has gotten the fuck out. Thank Christ.
He might be back. I honestly don't see where else.
Yeah.
I know where he's going, to his fucking comic book shop to light up.
Or that.
He's off to the nearest dispensary.
Exactly. And everybody in TNA will be better off.
But all in all, Kenny King ends up winning the match, with, I believe, by subduing Zima Ion by doing a spinning round kick to him and then doing his finish to York, which still, like, I'm still quite quizzical about it because he puts him in a fireman carry and then I guess drops it into a side slam, but it looks like someone is doing the move to him. To this day, it still looks like he's the one receiving it. Like it looks like someone's doing a mic check to him as he goes out of the fireman carry.
I think that was just a bad angle on the shot. Oh well.
Yeah.
Bad angles in TNA. What else is new?
But yeah,
Anyway, here we get some good angles. We get Joseph Park being his lovable self. And then, after he cuts a fun little promo, Bad Influence shows up and tells him that there's some great food and catering, and Joseph Park runs off for it. And then they cut an awesome promo.
yeah, Kaz and Daniels both deliver it straight to the point, essentially saying that it isn't about some lawyer, it isn't about lethal lockdown, it's about bad influence. They're going to recapture the tag team championships.
Yep, it was damn good, I have to say.
Kazarian isn't often like noted for his promo ability, for his speaking ability. It's never been bad, but it's just never been notable. And this one was delivered very well.
Definitely, they really worked well off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to break out of being like the Randy Orton lookalike.
That's a fucking insult to Kez, man. God damn, what did he do? Fucking piss in your cornflakes? Christ. Anyway, so after that, we get the Joseph Park match, which kind of out of nowhere, but fair enough. Joey Ryan, which I didn't even know he was still around.
Yeah,
apparently he is.
I thought he was aligned with Matt Morgan.
Yeah, where the fuck was Matt Morgan in this match? Like going through Hogan's wardrobe,
going through his like 20th repackage.
I was just about to say, wondering if he has to break out the stuttering gimmick again.
Yeah, like they don't know what to do with Matt Morgan. I mean, maybe like I've kind of looked down.
Matt Morgan is this generation's Billy Gunn.
Sorta, but at least you could get a very decent, solid match out of Billy Gunn.
He's going to come out as Rocka Morgan.
Yeah, they actually. I guess I should take that back because they eventually found a place for Billy Gunn. They ain't ever gonna find a place for Matt Morgan unless he's working for direct auto. Unless they actually hire him in direct auto insurance and he just does insurance for people.
Right.
And his gimmick is he just smashes through walls.
I mean, I almost wish like I could meet Jim Cornette and just ask him. I'm like, did you really think that at the end of it all, Matt Morgan worked out? Because it seemed like Cornette had the most faith in him while in the WWE, and like
Cornette said he could be main eventing WrestleMania in 2 years after he got out of Ohio Valley. I do not know where he saw that talent.
Well, just from a superficial sort of standpoint, he is the sort of prototypical WWE main eventer, really big. He can talk. He can indeed talk. Like I think his promo ability is pretty smooth. But around the ring, like there just seems to be like a sort of split between the way he looks and the way he works, and it just never seems to work out for him. It's almost like Mr. Anderson, who, although Anderson himself has had like a number of good matches, he has had a few pretty good ones, even in TNA.
Yeah, Matt Morgan and Anderson kind of are in the same boat if you think about it.
But,
well. Why are we talking about Morgan? This is Joseph Park versus Joey Ryan.
Yeah,
and Joey Ryan comes out looking like the slimiest motherfucker you've ever seen in your life.
So for him, it's just any other.
Exactly.
It's just Sunday.
Oh my god.
This
I love this gimmick. I love his unbelievably greasy gimmick, especially when it becomes a weapon.
Yeah, really, that's essentially what it was on the Indies. Like his thing was very naturally devised. Like he sort of described it. He describes it himself as like a guy who would get over in the '80s as like a face, but these days would be looked at as a heel.
So he's Hulk Hogan?
Maybe.
Anyway, so what happens is that Joseph Park and Joey Ryan are wrestling. There's two spots I really, really loved here. One is the one where Joey Ryan slimes Joseph Park with his body oil. Just wipes his chest and he slaps his face. And he's slimed, basically. It's like a Satis effect. And one of the greatest spots I've seen in a long time, where we've discovered what Joseph Park's offense is. It's his inability to know how to work the spots. Right. Joey Ryan goes up for the cross body, and instead of, like, as you see every time, the guy catching him being knocked over by it, Joseph Park just stands there and lets Joey Ryan bounce off of him.
Right. Just hit the floor in a belly flop. And, I mean, that it's ingenious of them. Like, and it's Chris Park is one of the best people to be able to perform a gimmick like this where he basically doesn't know how to work, where he just stands around in the ring, where he just sort of walks around, and while he might do like something good like a splash or of course like the black hole slam, he just looks awkward. Like he looks completely amateurish. It's great.
It's very great. And we also had the I don't know how much of a shoot it was. It probably wasn't any, but we had the ripped chest hair spot.
Oh yeah.
That fucking painful.
It was
jeez.
Pantomime very well.
Mm-hmm. And the finish being, again, related to being unable to do the spots. Joey Ryan goes for the sunset flip on him. Joseph Park doesn't fall over. He just kind of stands there, like, wondering what the fuck's going on. And then it dawns on him, hey, bonsai drop.
Yeah, essentially.
And then he just drops on Joey Ryan's chest, and that's it. 1, 2, 3.
And essentially for like any big guy who's about to be sunset flipped, like that would just be a normal spot for Joseph Park. It's a discovery.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, two heavily gimmick guys going against each other, coming out very well.
Yes, it looked great, and I really hope they keep up with this gimmick that during the match, Joseph Park just finds out things that work for him. Like, I really hope, like, if they ever have him fight, like, Devon for the the TV titles, and he just realizes that, hey, I could do a black hole slam, and kills Devon with a black hole slam.
Right.
Devon still has the TV title?
Yep.
What? Holy fuck.
Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't even wear it outside. He wears it under his vest now.
And the hilarity also is that, like, he doesn't necessarily have to defend it. His excuse is that he's aces and eights, so he doesn't need to play by the rules. So they don't need to write anything for the TV title. They don't need to book any matches. They don't need to create, like, any feuds out of it. He just
There's no 30-day rule here.
Unless you quit. Then we have a 30-day rule.
Then we strip it, and that becomes your whole storyline.
Yeah. No.
Invading TNA.
It'll be like Dixie Carter will go like, Devon, we're going to take the belt from you. You have not defended it. And Devon will be like, I'm not defending shit. Testify. And then Dixie will be like, we will make our own belt.
Oh my god. Oh, let's have a ladder. Let's rip off WrestleMania 10 and have a ladder match where there's 2 TV titles.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Okay, now so we get backstage hijinks with fucking Brooke Hogan and Bully Ray.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Hogan comes out with the crutches, and he's all like, Brother Jack, dude. Brother, Jack, brother. Andre the Giant, boss brother, Jack dude.
Oh yeah, key points of this promo. Number one, he tells Bully Ray that Andre the Giant went up to him backstage and he's like, whether you win or lose, make sure that people remember you. That's one piece of advice. But before that, he prefaces by saying, you know what? I really think you're the guy. Jeff Hardy's very hot, you know. He's very big, but you're the guy, Bully Ray.
Yes, he buried Jeff Hardy on camera because
Nice.
that's the Hulkster, brother.
It was even worse than legitimately and clearly burying him because he did it in such a subtle way that like everyone can tell, like he's just completely talking about him.
And meanwhile, Taz is losing his shit. It's nepotism, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like, good work, TNA, having the heel announcer be fucking right.
Yeah, you find that a lot in wrestling.
Yeah, no kidding.
Post Vince Russo. Well, actually, pre that too, but
Yeah, but like, what's worse is that TNA and, well, just TNA because middle guy, forgot his name, Kennel.
Kettery
Tony Chimmel? No, not Tony Chimmel. Whatever his name is, since he's just playing play-by-play now, basically, it's just Tenay and Taz, and Tenay almost never has a comeback for Taz.
yeah, I kind of like the positioning of Tenay and Taz, even with Taz and Aces and Eights as on commentary. Taz kind of sees Tenay as like a worthy adversary, but then again, that's also because like he can't keep the thing up.
No. Anyway, so after that glorious promo, it's time for the Knockouts title match. Gail Kim versus Velvet Sky, and Velvet Sky inexplicably has a meme on.
Yeah.
The calm and blank meme, which kind of threw me for a little bit. What it said on her outfit was "Keep calm and let the pigeons loose."
I'm okay.
Oh,
with that.
man.
Which is still funny because that was Taz's catchphrase.
Yeah, that was Taz back before he was like, fucking spokespersons for
Aces and
Aces
Eights.
and Eights.
I am really sad that Taz didn't appear to notice that. Because he never... I don't know if like he didn't notice it or they told him not to talk about it, but he didn't mention that once.
He didn't complain about. I thought he's Teflon Taz. You can't take anything from him, or you can't hit him with anything, such as stealing his gimmick, or else he'll sue you.
So yeah, I have to assume that Taz just flat out didn't notice it, which isn't surprised because he's always wearing those sunglasses. Kind of makes it hard to read. But yeah, so it's
Yeah, how the fuck can he see anything?
I don't know. Maybe he's secretly Alex Jensen from KSX Human Revolution. Or JC Denton, if you prefer a better game. Oh. Anyway, so the match is... It's kind of an old school style Knockouts division match before it turned really shit.
Well, I wouldn't say it turned really shit, but...
No, it didn't. This match didn't. I mean the Knockouts division itself.
Oh, okay, yeah. The funny thing is, like, all told, I think Velvet Sky was a better worker in this match than Gail Kim, which to me is surprising. Like,
she was definitely a lot more motivated. I think it was because, although it was the stupid meme on it, her gear didn't look too constricting. Because the last few times she's fought, she's worn that horrible one piece that looks like it just restricts her movement very badly.
Right. But I mean, based on what I was like, Gail Kim, she made two pretty bad slip ups. Like, I keep on forgetting what the first one is, but I believe that the second one she did this. It looked like she was almost going to do a Bronco Buster in the corner, and her legs just split very awkwardly. Crap. The very first one that she did was. Oh yeah. She tried to do a lucha slam against Velvet Sky. Like, it's essentially Wade Barrett's old finish, the Wasteland, but like usually on the indies you'll see it used as a transition. She dropped Velvet on her side rather than on her back.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looked really awkward, and it looked like it could...
Yeah, Gail's really sloppy now. I guess it's a lack of effort or whatever you want to say. Anyways, the main thing about this, though, was that Taryn Terrell was always pissing Gail off, and Gail finally got sick of it and slapped her, and Terrell was about to call for the bell. Gail was yelling, yeah, call for the bell. Screw me over like you always do. And then she just flipped her shit on her. Speared her so hard that Taryn Terrell's hair extensions came out. Did you see that?
Yep.
I must have missed that, but
yeah, her hair flew everywhere. It must have been a hell of a spear. Edge would be proud or jealous, depending on how you think of a spear. So after she beats up Gail for a bit, not Gail. Velvet Sky hits her with the split leg pedigree, and Terrell fast counts her just to put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, again, clean finish.
Clean finish.
Well, in the sense that Gail Kim kind of brought it upon herself. I thought.
But this is a good way to continue the feud. It keeps the belt on Velvet, but obviously Gail Kim still has a claim.
But there's also that one spot where I believe like there was sort of like a daisy chain between them, where I believe Gail Kim was attacking Velvet Sky without any discretion. Like Taryn Terrell pulled her away, and that ended up making Gail Kim defeat Velvet, which I thought was a good spot. But again, good match.
Hold it right here. Duos is on Twitter asking when we're recording.
oh, she probably thought it was 5 o'clock instead of 4.
Yeah, she thinks it's after Raw.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
We'll just keep going.
All right, we'll keep going. We'll see what happens. Anyways, sorry about that. I just thought you might want to point that out to see what's going on.
We'll let Backlash handle it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Backlash. Anyways, so after that match, we get the promo with Robbie T, and it's actually a good promo. Basically, Robbie T was always carrying Robbie E, and tonight Robbie T is going to make Robbie E his hoe. Which I guess implies that after Robbie E beats him, he's going to fuck him.
This has all sorts of gay connotations, which kind of makes sense.
Which is probably the point, because then we get the promo video for it, which was weird to say the least.
Oh yeah, the video package that they did with it was just a stroke of brilliance. Because they're making this big, roided up, muscular guy the underdog by all those effects where you have like a very vicious heel who, like, during a video package you edited, you put his like footage of him in black and white to make it more dramatic. You darken his voice. And they did that with Robbie E, except they made him like the threatening, malevolent heel, except they also auto-tuned things that he said.
Yeah.
It's just added such a great touch of comedy to things that...
Yes, I like the auto-tune because it works for a character like Robbie E.
Yeah, it's amazing in 2013 when Rob Echoes is being praised for his work. I mean, he was never a bad worker. Like,
it was never bad. It's just it started off on the wrong foot because it was an excuse to get Jersey Shore like C-listers onto the TV.
Yeah,
which immediately soured everybody, especially when the pay rates came out.
Yeah, and especially considering like how well Zack Ryder was doing, like how he had come into his own with his own gimmick. And now in 2013, Robbie E is the one that's praised. They're doing good things with him, and Zack Ryder is a whiny bitch. I'm just speaking based on IWC Smart Consensus. Like, as far as Ryder is concerned, like, I don't really have much of an opinion on him since, like, I'm not on Twitter too much, and like, he's just not on TV, so there's not much I could say about him, being that he's not on TV. But I mean, he was an unfortunate situation, from what I understand. Like, he's not really directly taking it to Vince, which Mick Foley criticized him for.
Well, who knows? It's a complicated situation. Anyway, so yeah, like you said, Robbie T was the underdog going into this. If you watched the match, it did not appear like that.
No, this
was a squash. This was a total squash.
It's kind of like Batista when he broke out against Triple H.
No, worse. At least Triple H was the same size, sort of. Well, at least was on the same size level as Batista. Robbie T could have picked up Robbie E and just simply carried him out to the dumpster in the back and left him there.
Well, what it is Robbie T's like, even though he's bigger, he's the subservient one.
No, not anymore, I guess. Where was Rockstar Spud? I thought they were supposed to be teaming up.
Yeah.
He's still
What
stuck
the
in
fuck?
this. Did he win the English thing, but they won't bring him to America? Is that it?
That's kind of what I thought would happen. Is he would be a big deal in the UK, but stateside not so much.
Well, even worse, they just didn't bring him to the States. Like,
Pretty
what,
much.
did they expect him to pay his own fucking way? Fucking TNA, man.
Creative had nothing for him, but yeah, the match is what you'd expect. Robbie does like a shitload of stalling, like he keeps calling timeout, runs out of the ring, like runs back in, attempts to make peace with Rob Terry by hugging him, and gets fucked up.
Yeah. The thing was, I think they overdid it a little bit because you started to gain sympathy for Robbie E. So I think they kind of overdid it,
Again,
but
but that's just like how skewed the situation was in the first place with them like advertising him as like the obstacle that Robbie T must face.
yes, the obstacle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, after that, JB is back with Aries, and JB's like, well, you're all alone here, man. What are you going to do? Like, how are you going to survive? And then basically Aries cuts this awesome promo where he talks about he doesn't need anybody to survive. He's going to all he has is bad influence in the Eddie Memorial Tour in front of them, and he could easily take them themselves. Be no problem. But then it doesn't really matter, does it? And then Rude walks out, and they actually played off the rumor that Rude was leaving because of a contract dispute. Now the question now is that was this just a one-time thing, or is he back for good?
I think
we'll find out later, I guess. But
no controversy. He's back. No.
yeah, I guess
situation.
so, especially the finish. Anyway, speaking of finishes, it's time for the tag team match. Eddie Memorial Tour versus Bad Influence versus Aries and Rude.
Oh yeah.
What should we call Aries and Rude? Vegan money? I've heard that.
Vegan money.
Vegan.
Well,
or another one I heard was short sell.
Technical. Well, I don't know about Rude getting short sold, but
well, short sell is a business term, and Aries is short, I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah, I like vegan money though. I think that works well.
Aries is technically a vegetarian, but that
well,
doesn't
vegetarian money doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely.
But I'd say this is in running for for match of the night. Like,
oh yeah, it was pretty good. It was 6 guys that are pretty much,
it was somewhat
maybe not so much the Eddie Memorial Tour, but the other 4 definitely.
I mean, hell, it was like they did their work very well. Also, Hernandez is often like people often very nervously grab their collars when Hernandez is in the ring because we've seen that border toss, but his spots put over how big a guy he was. Like he did this great double backbreaker on his shoulders from 2 of his opponents, and like everything pretty much went off without a hitch.
Oh yeah, it was exciting to watch the whole way through.
Yeah, Daniels was doing most of the selling early on because as a heel, he's very good as like the comedic ragdoll when he's placed in a situation with like a bunch of other better workers. Throughout the rest, Chavo was the other ragdoll because like he's a fairly sympathetic face, although
it should be noted that the most over people were Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, even in Texas. Yeah, well, the finish comes. There's a few good chaos spots, but the finish comes when Aries, not Aries, somebody's down. I think it was
Daniels.
Daniels was down. Thank you. And Chavo's going up for the frog splash, and right before he jumps, Roode hits him. This counts as a tag.
Yeah.
So Chavo hits the frog splash, goes for the pin. The ref's like, no, you're not the legal man anymore. Aries rushes in, knocks him off. Roode jumps on top of Daniels and gets the 1, 2, 3.
Fantastic finish.
That was an awesome finish.
Yeah.
And it was a very good you bastards moment for Roode and Aries.
Perfect heelish use of this stipulation of the match type.
Yes, it was really good. Very clever action.
And actually, this is one instance.
Which is, when it comes to that, what's sad is that in TNA, you know who was most likely to fuck up that finish? The ref. Because wouldn't you be that surprised if the ref didn't realize that and just counted the 3 for Chavo?
Mm.
I mean, TNA's refs are not what you'd call good.
But yeah, I definitely agree. They fucked up a lot in the past. Earl Hebner, like they've also contrived a lot of really shitty spots for the refs to perform. So it's give and take.
Mm-hmm.
But especially in terms of the finish, like Bobby Roode and Austin Aries playing a part, I think that they did the least in the match. Like you saw.
I'm going to have to agree. It was kind of like Hernandez and Chavo were kind of like the ones running wild on bad influence, and Aries and Roode just kind of ducked in and out when it was convenient for them.
But that just means that they're not only good heels, but they're very smart ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I said, it really adds to those bastards kind of thing they were going for, and that's exactly what they got.
They have the titles, and for good reason.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so after the match, Taryn Terrell's with JB, and she's talking about how she really isn't sorry about fucking over Gail Kim until Gail Kim comes out of nowhere and kills her.
Not much more to say about that.
Nope.
Yeah, it's kindling a possible feud between these two.
That's wonderful. But I was kind of more impressed with the fact that they went completely unrepentant. Like, yeah, I fucked her. What of it? She was in my face. I don't give a shit. I like that kind of angle. Instead of just like, oh, I lost my mind. I can't believe I did that. No, just fuck you, Gail. Get the fuck out of my ring.
Yeah, too much do they kind of make referees look like pussies.
No, yeah, I like that part. But so after that, we finally get lockdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, they start building the cage.
Like, so I guess lockdown isn't really the all cage match anymore. When did they decide that? When did they stop doing that? 'Cause I don't remember them ever saying that not all matches would be cage matches.
When they realized that they didn't want to go through the meticulousness of planning every angle or ending up in a situation where there needs to be a cage, or not doing that and being lazy and just realizing, for I guess our most brutal.
Yeah, I don't mind because it worked. Yeah. Would the X Division match or the tag match be nearly as good if it was all confined to the cage?
Good question.
Because like you wouldn't be able to have half the spots that happened in either of those matches with the cage there. But anyway, so our first also something interesting. The entire all the matches that take place in the cage are with aces and eights. I just noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll find out at the end how the last one figures in. But anyway, so yeah, it's Wes Briscoe versus Kurt Angle. Whiny bitch versus why don't you retire before you die, please?
Die or kill somebody, such as the Olympic Committee.
So they do the rewind a bit. We get Kurt Angle going that he's going to go Undertaker on Wes Briscoe by making him famous.
Yep.
Biker Taker, that is. Which I thought was a weird choice of words.
Also kind of ironic that he's doing Biker Taker's quotes to threaten a group of bikers. But
maybe that was the joke.
Yep. But
so after that, he says that his real target is D'Lo Brown. That grave threat.
He wants to stop D'Lo Brown before he's able to paralyze anyone else. Sorry, I said that last night, and it really has no basis. D'Lo Brown only had an accident, so like
it was a complete accident. But that would have gotten some serious heat if Kurt Angle actually said that he's going to stop him before he breaks another person's neck.
Yeah, that would. He's like, I'm sympathetic to people, or I'm empathetic to people with neck problems, so I don't want the harbinger of neck problems.
No, but although, if Russo was still booking, who wants to bet that they would have made it into an angle that D'Lo Brown paralyzed draws on purpose? Aces and eights
God.
Back in 1998.
Oh God.
Forget about
That would have been terrible.
If Vince Russo was actually still in the company, then there might be a shred of chance. But like I think that they have a bit more class than that.
Class, this is TNA.
And I realized that I was tempting you guys by making that comment. But
anyway, so yeah, after Angle cuts his promo, we get the hype video, which they still have fucking Briscoe saying Hawk Hogan. Like, has nobody at TNA's editing division noticed he fucked that lineup? Do they think that was good?
I don't know.
Do they just not care?
Yeah, but
it's like Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room. The Huckster, the Nacho Man.
Oh my god! Oh,
but,
I would love to see TNA to do some spots with I don't know, Junter Jerst Jelmsley.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
speaking of Vince Russo, those War Room footages were some of the first appearances of Russo on camera.
Oh God, really?
Oh God,
yeah, delivering lines incredibly shittily.
What a shocker!
But Mr. Huckster, don't you think that fans want a new product?
Oh my God. Yeah, his Brooklyn accent makes it sound like people from New York are from a different country altogether.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's time for our first cage match. It's Wes Briscoe versus Kurt Angle, and what can you expect? It's Kurt Angle carrying Wes Briscoe,
yeah,
so it's going to be a Kurt Angle match.
If you ever wondered why he was kicked out of FCW, here's your answer. I would figure with the pedigree and with the like his father and with at least some training by like Dusty Rhodes or whomever else was working at FCW, we'd see some good. But it was really Kurt Angle doing moves on him and Wes Briscoe looking constipated, trying to look tough.
Yeah, it was mostly just Kurt Angle killing Briscoe until he got the interference.
Yeah, and also Angle was taking it to him like it seemed like he was shooting on him because the first thing he did was sort of grab both of his legs and do like a really, really harsh takedown. Then he proceeded to do 5 German suplexes.
I would not believe that those were stiff as fuck, but I don't think he was shooting. I think that's just Kurt Angle being Kurt Angle.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Because apparently he's just a stiff guy. He doesn't have to be pissed at you. He just is stiff.
He's trying to level the playing field. He's got a really fucked up neck, so he figures it's fair for everyone else to.
If nobody has if I don't have a good neck, nobody does.
That's what I think it is.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. I would hope that Kurt Angle's not that much of an asshole, but if he is, he'll say his Twitter was hacked.
Oh well.
So Aces and Ace runs in. D'Lo Brown kills Angle. So I guess we are going to get that feud after all.
Oh God. Wow.
I'm really terrified of what D'Lo Brown is going to do.
I hope he does his head bobble.
Yes.
It looks like it looks like he put on a little bit too much old age weight for that, but who knows? That guy
comes out with the chest protector.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame.
You better
it's a shame that WWE owns all the rights to their music, because I seriously would love to hear. So you think you're the real deal now?
Oh yeah, you looking at the real deal now.
Gonna kick your sorry ass out onto the street.
Because your ass is dead meat.
Yes, I love D'Lo Brown's music. I remember I was legitimately pissed when they had him tag up with Tiger Jeet Singh, and they had that stupid kind of vaguely Arabic music, despite the fact they're having an Indian gimmick, because WWE doesn't know how races work and culture works.
Yeah, they don't know the difference. It's all.
They're all towel heads. God damn it! I'm Vince McMahon.
But yeah,
Middle Easternistan.
Middle Eastern.
Also, typifying this match, 2 spots where Kurt Angle had the victory, but the ref was incapacitated. One where Wes Briscoe tapped, another where Angle just gingerly walked out of the cage.
Yeah, what happened was that Kurt Angle was going for the big clothesline, and excuse me, sorry about that. I would not be surprised if he legitimately killed that ref, because he fucking clobbered him. And so what happened was that Kurt Angle locked on the ankle lock and Briscoe tap, no ref. So he figured, like, all right, I'm just going to step out. Why not? Actually, you said, why don't you just leave, Kurt, in the chat yesterday, and then he just left. And then D'Lo came out and stopped that because, yeah, D'Lo Brown and Kurt Angle in 2013, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I so wanted to see that. I don't know about you guys.
That'll put butts. Anyway, D'Lo Brown kills him with the cage door spot, pulls Briscoe out. He stumbles up, ref stumbles up, sees it, calls for the bell. Briscoe wins.
Yeah, he wins.
Kurt Angle immediately starts no-selling everything, stands up and looks kind of disappointed. Like, shucks. So anyway, it's time for Lethal Lockdown. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not lethal, and as we'll find out at the end, it's not even a lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think in order for it to be a lockdown, there would have to be a fucking ceiling in the cage.
Though I will say that a couple of the more satisfying moments of the evening happened in this match, I'd say. For one of them,
it was very plotting until everybody got out there. Honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah. And considering our first fucking guy up is Mr. Anderson.
Oh my god.
Magnus.
Also, one thing I pointed out during the chat last night was, what's the point of playing the Aces and 8 music when they come out, considering they all have the same music? And
Taz commented on it.
Talked about that.
He was like, oh, it saves us time.
Yes, it saves us time and money to all have the same music. But yeah, there's no point when the music isn't going to tell you who's coming out, because we knew when they were, which side each person was when they came out. But anyway, so yeah, it was very slow and plotting, and at one point it looked like they literally were just waiting for the next person to come out.
But again,
and so it ends with Sting coming out last, and he's carrying all the weapons that should be attached to the cage. And when he comes in, there isn't a lockdown. The roof doesn't come down. And I suspect that's because they're not in the impact zone, so they didn't have the riggings set up in the Alamo Dome to actually do that. Because as a bit of a technical side here, they only booked about 1/10 the Alamo's dome, so they were just in like one little corner of it. So any of the scaffold mounts couldn't be used because they weren't in the center. So I think that's why we didn't have the lockdown part of Lethal Lockdown.
Right.
Anyways, although I do want to praise them, they finally figured out how War Games works and makes it so that the faces are winning when the next heel comes in, and that the heels are winning when the next face comes in, rather than what they did last year, which was reversed because they're idiots.
I didn't even remember Lethal Lockdown last year, but like I said, one of the most glorious moments of the evening, Garrett Bischoff. I forgot exactly what point he came in, but he comes in, he starts attacking Magnus, and on cue, the crowd starts chanting, "You can't wrestle!"
Nice.
No love for Garrett Bischoff, but you know who there was love for? Eric Young.
Oh yeah.
Came out and the pants came off. Oh yeah, the pants are down.
It was
Everybody
great.
was on their feet.
And we had the Battle of the Beards. It was glorious.
Mike Nux versus
Eric Young's beard is reaching a density thought to only exist in stars. Seriously, you could probably stop bullets with that thing. But yeah, so Eric Young comes out, and there's the Mega Tower of Doom spot where Garrett Bischoff is trying to get out of the cage because why not? Both. Oh, who the fuck was? Okay, who was all in that cage spot or that?
Okay, it was like, the Tower of Power. It was.
It was Bischoff at the top, and
I think it was Anderson and Doc.
Yeah, Anderson and Doc. No, it was then two TNA guys, then Doc and Anderson. Then it was Storm at the bottom who pulled them all down.
No, it was Joe that pulled them all down.
It was Joe that pulled. Okay, then it was Storm and Sting, I think, that grabbed Bischoff. Then Doc and Devon grabbed them, and then Joe pulled them all down for the super spot. But anyway, so the finish comes with. Another spot is that Sting was holding a guy, and Eric Young was going to clock him with the bat. He moves out of the way, and Eric Young stops it. And for a split second, it looks like Eric Young might turn on TNA, but that doesn't happen, luckily.
Nope.
But anyway, the finish is that Sting hits the death drop on who was it that got pinned? Knox. It was Knox. Hits the death drop on Sting. Sting tells Young to go up on top. He does, and then Sting's like, no, that's not good enough. And then they get Young to go up to the top of the cage, and then he drops his elbow on him. And that was enough to finally put aces and eights away. And in Lethal Lockdown, the winners are Team TNA.
Yeah, fucking cool. Like, it's you get a nice fuzzy feeling that like Eric Young was given the go over.
Yes, I was very happy he got the go over. And it worked for the storyline because he'd been gone for so long.
He essentially.
So yeah, he was the returning hero of the evening.
Yeah, he went from the weakest link of Team Canada to the guy who throws the hammer down on aces and eights.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended, of course.
Oh yeah, I guess. But I wonder, do you think he's gonna stay here, or is this just like them like giving him some props for doing work for them? Because he still does have his show.
Apparently he still enjoys wrestling, but I guess he's just gonna do his show and wrestle at the same time,
right?
Which is fine. Anyway, so it's time for the main event: Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah.
And it's a really kind of slow, technical match because they're both faces and they're both running a respect thing.
Yeah, I mean,
so it still works. I mean, Bully Ray knows what he's doing, and Jeff Hardy isn't stoned out of his gourd, so that's nice.
I'm on the fence, like as far as their performance in terms of the match goes, because I feel like Bully Ray was ultimately doing more. Like Jeff Hardy did a couple of his usual spots, and then Bully Ray just kept on dominating him. I mean, they did play up the fact that like Jeff Hardy was a smaller and guy and had less defense, and Bully Ray was much more hardened. But
although it should be noted that when Jeff Hardy was doing that closed eye spot with his face paint, he did walk into a cameraman.
Yeah.
That's just stupidity. Like that's not.
Yeah, that's Jeff Hardy in a nutshell for you.
That's not inebriation.
No, that's just Jeff Hardy not realizing that you should fucking look where you're fucking going.
Should backfire on him.
So Garrett and Wes jump in, and they quickly get thrown out, and that was the fake out spot basically.
Yeah, we thought there was gonna be a swerve or whatever was gonna happen, but then
I was predicting the anti-swerve. Do you know what an anti-swerve is?
That's where you think there's a swerve, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
exactly. I thought they were building up so much to the swerve that they were going to swerve us by not swerving us, because when you're based around Russo, you got to triple cross everything to make it real, brother. Anyway, so yeah, the match continues, and apparently Jeff Hardy got legit badly injured in this match by taking a power bomb, the super power bomb off the stage.
That we spoke about Hernandez earlier. This power bomb was Hernandez level, and I trust Bully Ray in the ring. Like, dude's a well-honed worker, good in like so many ways as a wrestler, and this power bomb just looked completely grisly. Like it.
I don't know how they could have possibly made it work, honestly. But yeah, so Jeff Hardy is legit, has a very bad concussion, and they don't know what's going on with him. So I guess we'll find out next week. Anyway, so after that, Hogan and Brooke come out. and then Aces and Eights surrounds them, and Jeff and Bully get back into their gonna fight Aces and Eights position. And this kind of ruined the moment for me when Devon, like, they have Devon, the first guy, enter the cage, which I don't know how you could telegraph that more unless he was carrying a sign for Bubba. Anyway, so Bubba and him are staring at each other.
Yeah, they do the
Devon
awkward stare down.
takes like 5 minutes to pull out the hammer. Like, I don't know if that was like the point or was he just not getting a good grip on it, but pulls out the hammer, looks at it like he's going to kill somebody with it, chucks it to Bubba, and then Bubba like stands there for a few seconds trying to sell like what's going on here, and then he just clobbers Jeff.
Pins him.
1,
You're
2,
champ.
3. Your champion, the president of Aces and Eights, Bully Ray.
Oh yeah, and I have to congratulate Bully Ray for finally winning the world title after so many years and after working so hard to reinvent himself.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Although I did like when they actually did Dudley Boy, Devon and Bully actually did Dudley Boy's taunts.
Oh yeah, they did the 3D pose, which I mean they stole that from Shane Douglas, but then again, like he
Oh yeah,
you can cherry pick so many.
Because people remember when Shane Douglas did that. Anyway, so yeah, they do the poses. They're all hugging each other. You can actually hear Bubba saying, "I love you, Devon," over the mic, over the cameras, which is interesting.
Yeah, they hug and
Hogan's
reunite.
losing his shit. Like, just full on losing his shit. And then Bully cuts an ECW promo.
This was glorious.
A bit cleaner than what you'd see in ECW, but it was an ECW promo.
Yeah. But it was so succinct. Like, it was so perfect. It got to every point.
Let the bitch cry.
Yeah, let the bitch cry. Hogan,
I
used you.
I fucked you. Yeah, I think he actually said fucked.
No, he said, Hogan, I used you. Brooke,
oh, yeah,
I screwed you.
And Brooke, I screwed you. Which was fucking awesome, in my opinion.
And all you people, I fooled you.
Mm-hmm. And then came the trash. And oh boy, was there trash.
When was the last time we saw trash in the ring? Like,
actually, if you notice, like when they cut back, you actually saw that Hebner was down. Hebner knows that Jeff Hardy said to him, he's like, something's wrong, and he actually covered up Jeff so he wouldn't get hit with garbage.
The thing is, the rumors are apparently that the first few throwers were plants, but it apparently worked in their favor that like the first few guys were paid to do it.
I don't mind that because if it was true, I don't mind them providing the spark, because if there wasn't heat, we would have just saw 3 bottles thrown into the ring and a really bored-looking crowd.
Yeah, the crowd itself was pretty good. Like, I mean, they weren't like this.
It wasn't like Bash to the Beach levels, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, this wasn't like an Attitude Era, like WCW in their prime kind of crowd, but you won't get that these days. So the pretty much everyone reacted to the matches as they should have, and especially
it was a hot turn for Bully.
Yeah.
And the crowd was pissed.
And the deal is, like, I was thinking about this because initially I was like, everyone saw this coming from a mile away, like, and then it's like, oh, wait. Everyone should have seen it coming from a mile away. Kayfabe-wise, like, turns out Bubba Ray, as he's always been, is a fucking snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was expecting him to turn it Bound for Glory.
Yeah, but a bit more information. Apparently what caused some problems was that some fans started to whip beer bottles into the ring.
Ah. Yeah,
that's why Hebner was covering up Jeff because, plastic bottles and cups, that's not a huge deal. But yeah, apparently some people were whipping beer bottles into the ring, which is really fucking dangerous.
Especially when you're laying on the ground.
Yeah, so...
Because they're like grenades, basically.
Yeah, they're glass grenades, which is real fucking fun. But yeah, so we had that. We had Bubba Ray cut his big promo, and like I said, that got so much heat.
But again,
so I think it's safe to say that Hulk Hogan, Brooke Hogan, and Jeff Hardy are going to remember the Alamo.
That's probably going to be a line that's going to be said on Impact.
Not only that,
yeah, just you wait.
As our very old school forum poster Hulk Hogan GBP pointed out, Sting is pretty much the winner of dumbest wrestler on Earth 3 decades running.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He allowed himself to be duped in so many ways.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's. Well, at least
Well,
Eric Young didn't stab him in the back. You can at least say
even,
that.
even though Sting wasn't part of this particular segment, it was Sting that
It's
had
the thing
good
that
faith in
popped
Bully to begin.
everybody into believing Bully. So there you go.
So that was that was Lockdown.
And it was good.
See you in 3 months for
Yeah.
another TNA pay-per-view.
Best pay-per-view since Destination X, where everything went through and it ended up with a title change.
I was pleased they finally did something right. So to all the TNA smarks on YouTube that think that all we do is shit on TNA, we do praise them when they do something right.
Yeah, credit when it's due.
Right?
So, what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal?
Beer bottles get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Wes Briscoe taking an imaginary dump gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Digi?
Cages honestly get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Not as much as they would have last year.
No, I was just about to say, but not as much as before.
Way less so, but still more screen time.
More screen time. And credit to TNA. I know that this kind of ruins the lockdown gimmick, but they kept the cages in the matches that actually made sense.
All right, now
You could debate if Hardy and Bully need to be in the cage, but world title match, yeah, it works. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube to keep up to date with all of our videos. Please comment and subscribe too. You can also like us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DarkMatch Wrestling. You can also follow us individually on all our own Twitters as well. Not that we say anything really interesting. Don't forget to check us out at TRE Productions, where all our videos plus lots and lots of other great stuff is hosted. We're also on RBT Entertainment in the community section. And last but not least, always come to hang out with us at the Spoonie Experiment forums, where we founded this damn show. Oh, that was TNA Lockdown, and I'm the Revolverman.
And I'm Digi-Fox, and the fox that rocks your socks.
I'm ChristopherSays, the noun of adjective.
Good night, good luck, and we'll see you next week.